It's Sarah from Moonsteam Design, and I'm back with another hopefully quick video to show you the basics of how to work with WordPress menus. This is definitely one of the most popular questions that I get when people are new to WordPress is, how do you add pages to the top? How do you add links to the top? People call it by all kinds of different names, but in WordPress, when you have links to your various pages across the top, it's a menu. So to work with WordPress menus, the first thing you do is go into your back-end admin area, you come down to Appearance, Menus, and you're going to see this basic screen. Now let me click over to the front end of this site and you can see what it looks like. Here's the top menu, it's got 3 items on it, and then going back into the back end, you can see we've got a main menu, menu structure. Now, I'm going to also show you how to start from scratch, because maybe you're starting with your own WordPress install and you need to make a menu, or maybe you want to make more menus, but notice right here at the top we've got, you can edit your menu below or create a new menu. So I'm going to click create a new menu, and we give the menu a name, and I'm going to call this one second menu, and I can't spell correctly today, don't mind me. Then I'm going to click on Create Menu. Okay, so now notice that at the top here we're going to have this option to select a menu to edit. All right, and I have my main menu and my second menu now, or you can still create a new one. Now the main area that you're going to work in is this one here that's to the right, this menu structure. And notice right now we have nothing on here. Now, right to the left of your menu structure are these little, this box right here that starts with pages. And just like everything else in WordPress, like working with widgets, etc., there's these little triangles here over to the right of the name of these sections, and you click them to open or close these different sections. And if I go down here and click on Custom Links, then that one becomes active and the previous one closes. Same for categories. Now, what this list right here is a list of all the things that you can add to your menu. So going back up to pages, and let me also give you a little quick tip, is that if you look up in the towards that top right of your screen where it says Screen Options, and if you click that, notice you have options here for what you can show on the screen. And so sometimes I will check tags, and if I check tags, notice that down here, now I'm able to choose from tags to add to the menu. That's actually just not a very common thing that people use, which is why it's not automatically included. As you can see, I don't even have any tags right now on this tester site. So I will now go back up to Screen Options and uncheck tags, and now it disappears from my options right here. Up at the top in Screen Options, another couple of things you may want to check off are Link Target, and then CSS classes, although that's a more advanced topic we're not going to talk about today, but if you ever need to add a CSS class to a menu item, you would want to come up here and check it in Screen Options. But I'm going to leave Link Target checked so that you can see how that works in just a few minutes. Okay, then you re-click the Screen Options name and it rolls back up. Okay, so back over here onto pages. So let's say for the second menu I want to add a couple of pages. You just basically check off the ones you want to use, click Add to Menu, and boom, now they show up here on the menu. Now the really cool thing about the menu is that if you want to reorder the items here, all you got to do is click and drag them. Just like with working with widgets, when you click and drag things up and down to reorder them, exact same thing. Now, if you want to nest items under each other to create a drop down, all you got to do, click one of the items, hold it, drag it slightly to the right, let it go. Notice how it starts to create this like stepladder type effect. But when you nest something under something else, that is what is going to create a drop down. Now I'm going to save this menu. And take a little nap while I wait for my internet. Okay, well, while I wait for this to save, I'm going to come back over. Well, wait, no, let me wait a second for it to save, because what I want to show you, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to go back over to the front page and I'm going to refresh it. And notice that nothing has changed. Well, we just made a menu, right? And we added things to it, so how come I'm not seeing it up here? That's because if we come back over here to the menu screen, notice that under the menu structure where you're actually building your menu, right underneath that is menu settings. And there's this little option in here about theme locations. So basically you have to tell WordPress where you want this menu to show up. Probably every theme out there is going to have a primary navigation menu. And you may have other theme locations where you could theoretically add a menu. So right now, I'm showing my previous menu, but if I want this second menu to now be my main one, I'm going to click on Primary Navigation Menu. Notice it's even telling me that currently it's set to Main Menu. So I'm going to click on Primary Navigation Menu and I'm going to click Save Menu. Now I'm going to come back to the front page and I'm going to refresh. And now look, it is the new menu. Now, why am I only seeing 2 items? Image page, block quote page. When I added 3 items over here, I added these 3. Remember, this item, I made it nest. I created a drop down. So coming back to the front page, if I hover over image page, here's my drop down. Okay. And you can actually create, coming back to the back end, you can actually nest things a couple of different, in several different levels. And exactly how many levels and how it's going to look, it's all going to depend on your theme. And you may not want to have that many levels. But just know that that's how you do it. All right, now that I've nested these 2, I'm going to come back to the front end, I'm going to refresh. And I swear, I really do have high-speed internet. You would never know it. Because every single time I go to do a video for you, my internet gets really slow. Okay, so now when I hover over image page and then hover over the second drop-down, I get the other drop-down. Okay. So now I'm going to come back to the back end. Let's say, nope, I don't want those things to nest anymore. You simply click and drag them back to the left until they're all lined up this way. Now I'm going to save the menu again. Come back to the front page, click refresh, and now all 3 things are on the menu. Okay, well, what if I wanted to show something on the secondary navigation menu? What I'm going to do, I'm going to leave my new one as primary. I'm going to come up here to select a menu to edit. I'm going to go to main menu, click select. And now this main menu here, I'm going to make this my secondary navigation menu. I'm going to click save, come back to the front page, click refresh. I think I should start doing a little song and dance routine while I wait for these things. What do you guys think? Okay, while I wait for that to refresh itself, I'm going to come back to the back end and I'm going to say that, well, so you can create these menus and then you choose where you want them to show up in your theme. Oh, wait, it refreshed. So I'm going to come back over here. Okay, so now I've got a menu in my primary navigation, my main navigation, and now I have this other menu showing underneath it. And the reason why it shows underneath is because that just happens to be how this theme is set up, that your primary navigation menu is here top of this black background, your secondary navigation menu is showing right under it. Your theme might be set up completely different. Okay, so going back here, let's say, nope, I don't want to use secondary navigation menu, so I'm going to untick that and save. So now it seems like, okay, well, my main menu, if it's not showing on any of these theme locations, then what's the point? Right? What am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with the menu if it's not set to show at a certain spot? Well, there are a lot of things you can do with it, and the most common thing is that you use it as a widget, and then you can add the menu to any of your widgetized areas on your theme. Okay, well again, I am waiting for this to save. I honestly do think I've got internet gremlins in there that are just waiting until I record things for you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to come over to widgets. And on my primary sidebar, now again, your theme might have a different name for your main sidebar. So whatever your main sidebar is, I'm going to come over here and then looking in the available widgets area, I'm going to look for custom menu. I'm going to click and drag that over to my primary sidebar, drop it down, and then notice it gives you the option to select a menu. I'm going to select the main menu, save that, go back to the front page, and now my secondary menu is gone, and then look over here, the first thing on my sidebar is a menu. And again, how the menu is going to look on your sidebar is completely dependent upon your theme. And of course, the look of that can be changed within your theme, and it's all going to be different. But this is just about how to get it over there. So you can create, if you wanted to create a little menu of your certain pages that you want to highlight, for example, then just go into Appearance, Menus, create a new menu, add the pages that you want, and then add it as a widget, either in your sidebar, maybe in your footer widgets area, whatever, wherever you want to put it. Okay, so then also a couple other things on this page. Over here, if you're searching for pages, you've got most recent. You've got this little tab to view all, and then you have one for search. Of course, these come in really handy as you get more and more pages. Let me also say that this function of how the menus work is why it doesn't necessarily matter if you nest your categories when you make them, which I mentioned in a previous video about how to work with categories. Because usually the reason why people used to actually nest their categories was so that it would create, nice organized display of categories. But because the way the menus work in WordPress now is that I can go and if I go down here to categories and I click view all, here's all my categories. Well, these categories, I have not nested them under each other when I made them. But of course, as you just saw, if I added all three of them to the menu, I could then nest them however I want. Oop. Come on, there we go. And then I could reorder them. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I'm going to set it as the secondary. Actually, I'm going to change it over to primary just to have some fun. Go back to the front, refresh. Now we've got the category added up here with its drop downs. Now, this is also the other thing that I wanted to show you that I mentioned in the category video was that you can add your categories to your menu just like I just added pages. Okay, so you click the things that you want to add, you click add to menu, and boom, there it is. Then you click and drag it up and down to reorder it. You can drag it to the right to nest it, etc. Now, one other thing on the screen over here in this area of things to add to your menus, you've got custom links. All you got to do is click on custom link, put in a website address, let's say it's your shop.com or your Etsy shop, whatever. You put in the URL, you put in the link text, and then you click add to menu. Now, when you're adding links, especially to outside sites, this is where you want the link target, which we set, remember, just a little bit ago, up here in screen options, link target, make sure that's checked. Because when you come down here to the items on your menu, now again, notice these little arrows next to it. If you click one of those little arrows, you're going to expand the menu item. So for the shop that we just added, we have URL here, the navigation label. Notice right here, open link in a new window or tab. And you want to click that if it's an outside link. There's no sense doing that if somebody is clicking on pages within your site because you don't want them to start having 10 tabs or windows open as they're trying to navigate their way through your site. but it's usually a good idea to do this for things like your shop or any other sites that you want to send people to. Okay, so also looking back up here, let's look at our About page. If I click on the little expand, whoops. If I click on the little okay. Oh, let me just drag it back over. There we go. And I do leave this stuff in the videos to show you because, you know, sometimes these little niggly things trying to work in it is just something that happens. Okay, so when I expand down, what you've got for each menu item is a navigation label, and basically what that means is that's the word or words that's going to show on the front end on your menu. And title attribute are the words that would show in the little pop-up when you hover over it, which most browsers show. Title attribute sometimes is used with SEO, but in your menu it doesn't really matter. So for the navigation label, if I go back and click on the front page over here, the About, you know, when you see the word Home, About, Contact, Category 1, those are your navigation labels. So I could change About to About Me. I'm going to save the menu, go back to the front page, refresh. Now it's changed to About Me. And coming back over to expand on my item here, notice also at the very bottom of this, you got the red text Remove. Sadly, there's no way to bulk remove a bunch of items from the menu at once. You have to actually expand it down, click Remove, expand it down and click Remove to remove a bunch of things, and then save. And then come back over here, I'm going to refresh the front page, and those two items will be gone. Well, they'll be gone once my page decides to refresh itself. Okay, so that is that, actually. That's all there are to menus. It's actually, as you can tell, it's really simple, really straightforward. It's just such a blessing to be able to use menus this easily. It wasn't always this easy. I sadly distinctly remember fighting with menus, you know, some time ago, and then WordPress came out with this new way to do it, and it's just, oh, I love it. I love it. There's so much you can do with it. So for now, just get used to playing with your menus and adding items and nesting them, and, you know, adding links, putting up your best categories, you know, just have fun with it and play around with it. And if at any time you get stuck while you're working with your menus, or you have any kind of really bizarre, odd things happen, feel free to reach out and contact me, and I will do whatever I can to help. So I hope this video was useful, and I hope you feel a little bit more confident now to go in and start messing with your menus. And until the next video, see you then. Bye.